Welcome everyone to the Lounge with Larz podcast. Today's guest has spent the last 12 years helping families unlock the doors to home ownership as a dedicated mortgage broker and team leader. Originally from Ecuador, he came to the U.S. chasing the American dream, not just for himself, but to elevate his family's future and to help others do the same. His story is all about perseverance, vision, and a genuine desire to help others achieve their own version of the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Canar.
How's it going?
Doing well, buddy. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Been
Love
a good day
the
for
room.
you?
Yeah. Love the room. I don't know if you caught what was said before, but the colors, decorations, everything's pretty badass.
It matches your shirt, man.
That's part of the reason why I wore it.
Yeah. So you watch some of my YouTube videos. You watch some of my episodes.
Yeah, I watched your episodes.
Heck yeah.
You're a pro. The next Joe Rogan.
Oh, come on, man. That guy's unstoppable. He flows so well.
I know.
It doesn't matter who's on his show. He connects just on a personal, professional, just like he's so chilled. And I'm like, I've been on that side. Like I've been a guest on quite a few podcasts, but being a host now, it has a totally different energy. You got to really think of like how it's going to go and what you're going to say and how you're going to lean into things. And now that I have a little bit more experience, I'm less nervous, but still nervous because
you still have to navigate it.
Yeah, right? But it's all exciting. Have you been on podcasts before?
I've been on not podcasts like this that are going to last an hour, 30 or whatever the case may be. About 10 minutes, 5 minutes when we do like little commercials with realtor partners, talk about their experience, what they've been through and stuff like that. But I would say max 15 minutes long.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're going to probably push like 45 for an hour, but I think
you kick me out whenever.
No, man. I'm going to lean into your story because I think it's just, you're such a good guy. Like we've had some opportunities to connect. We smoked some cigars together. We've been to some events together. You actually just had me to an open house.
Yeah.
Right?
Before we get into that, now that you mentioned the cigars, there's a reason why I brought that backpack.
Okay.
Can I get something for you?
Heck yeah.
All right, let me get that real quick.
Are we going to be smoking cigars?
I don't know if he will allow that, but...
Dang, this guy right now, he's busting it. First off, that's a nice backpack. I love backpacks. And this guy, what are you doing, man?
This is for you.
What? What is this, brother?
Open it up.
Oh my God, Bryan, this is freaking awesome, dude.
I know you don't drink a lot, but
dude,
I figured when you do, bust out the Don Julio.
Damn, brother. Thank you so much, man. That's so awesome.
I hope
Yeah, I don't drink a lot, but this is going to be like a staple piece. When I drink with you now.
When I do drink, I drink Don Julio.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I drink Don Julio.
Dude, oh my goodness. I went yesterday to Total Wine.
Yeah?
And I got the San Luis. I don't know. It's like the red bottle that's beautiful.
Is it pricey?
It's a little pricey, but I got it more as an art piece than anything. I looked at it and I was like, man, that would look awesome on the bar.
Right?
So I just look at it. I'm like, I had to go to 3 different Total Wines to get it.
That's what's going to happen.
I figured
with
you
this,
may
brother.
like that.
Happen with it. I'm going to freaking put it up like somewhere around here, dude.
You saw the one that I had. It could be a thing.
Yeah.
People just bring you stuff.
Dude, I love it. You know what's crazy is Kate and I were talking about, we're going to get into a segment in a little bit, and I feel you in, but it's called Live Larz. And so what I'm looking to do with this segment and this, I guess, this phrase, I'm going to try to coin this Live Larz concept, right? And so what I'm going to do, and I wish I had it sooner, but I'm going to have hats and merch. It's going to say Live Larz. And then for every guest, man, I'm gonna just give him a hat, give him a sweater, and I'm not gonna skimp, dude. I'm gonna go legit, like nice hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass. And so I just want to get that message out there. And I guess I'll just talk about it a little bit. What that Live Larz mindset is. It's just being relentless in life and just having this mindset of nothing is gonna defeat me.
Love it.
And I don't know about you, my journey has been tough. Life is tough, first off, and it's just like everyone has these difficult moments, but it's those people who lean into those difficult moments. And I can't wait to hear your Live Larz moment and your journey, but it's those people who lean in to those struggles and then come out the other side a better person. They get so far in life. it's not saying that you always have to be positive, but it's just like they're special.
Yeah. I feel like the struggles define who you become in life later. It almost doesn't even seem fair when it's happening. You're like, why me? Why do I have to go through this? And then later in life, you find yourself in situations where you're like, oh, that's why I went through that. Because now I'm prepared for what comes next or what's coming now.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And going back to the Live Larz thing, when I was training with Robert Farrow at Diesel Muscle, he won Mr. Arizona. I don't know when, but he's a legit coach for bodybuilding.
For bodybuilding,
Yeah,
okay.
for bodybuilding.
So you used to do that?
I still do it now. It may not look like it.
No, I didn't know you were like totally into it.
Yeah, totally into it. Everyone always asks you when you're there, they're like, are you going to do a show? Are you going to do a show?
Yeah.
You think you're going to a regular gym, but then all of a sudden you see someone like posing or practicing their poses, because the whole show that you have to put on, you see the ladies coming out in heels and bikini working on their poses in front of the mirror, and you're like, okay, this gym's legit. You think you're in good shape, then you get there, you're like, whoa. But anyway, the saying was better never stops, and I started thinking about that. I'm like, man, I love that. It's like such a good saying, because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. You never stay the same.
Yeah.
So then when I started that journey, I was working a lot, and you can get really sucked into the business. You can get addicted to it when you let everything else go. And guys that have been in the industry for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, all of a sudden they're overweight, drinking a lot, smoking a lot. And you can just see them age really quickly because they're not paying attention to anything else, just the business, just chasing the numbers. So I found myself like, okay, I'm a little bit more overweight than I was before, and I'm still young. I'm still like early 30s. And I remember having a conversation with my work partner, and I was like, yeah, man, working out's always been like part of my identity. Playing football, wrestling, track, that kind of stuff. And not only does it make me feel good, but it also is like, it's an accomplishment, right? It's something that no one can just give to you. You can't buy it. Someone can't gift it to you. You got to always work for it. And I feel like that shows, it not only shows other people, but it shows you that, hey, if you can take care of yourself, you're going to take care of other people also. Because if you can't even take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of your family? How are you going to be that example to your kids, your wife, right? Whenever I wake up early and Kitty's, man, I love your discipline. I'm like, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for our kids. I want to be around for a long time.
So important, man. That's amazing. That's what a gold nugget right there. We're living to stay healthy for our kids, to just be a young dad. You got 3 kids. I'm a little bit older. I'm 47 right now. And so, yeah, I have that same mindset, bro. I really do. Like every morning I'm waking up, I'm literally walking outside. I'm grounding myself. I'm getting some sun on me. I'm drinking a lot of water in the morning and before any coffee, anything like that. But supplements, I'm on supplements. I'm doing the peptides right now.
Okay, cool. Which one?
Which is Orlin.
Okay.
And GHK, I think.
GHK?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't done that one yet.
But I'll give it a quick shout. Longevity. It's one of the companies that we office with, and we're going to have.
Do you do blood work and everything
yeah,
also?
we do.
Okay.
I just got my blood work and it's looking pretty good. Obviously, as you age, testosterone's,
you have to do blood work, man. I know a lot of guys that are our age, and all of a sudden they're depressed. They're like, man, I don't know why I'm depressed. Everything is going well in life. Business is good, beautiful family. I'm just depressed. I'm slow. I'm lazy. I'm like, dude, you got to get your testosterone checked.
That's it, man.
That's what it is.
Brian, is crazy because even today, like I got my blood work. I'm on these peptides.
Yeah.
And it's just, you change. Like your 40s are not like your 20s. You start plateauing a little bit. And to get up that second leg of the mountain, you got to put really good things in your body. Food, water, supplements. You got to stay consistent working out, because obviously if you're not consistent, man, I don't know about you, but it takes me, if I'm out of the gym for a week, man, it takes me like 2 weeks to get back into it, 3 weeks. I'm like, God, what the heck? This is getting harder and harder. So I have that no die attitude anymore. I'm just like, all right, man, I'm not stopping. I can't.
So many thoughts come to mind when you talk about the gym. That is my number one hobby, right? I do golf, I do snowboarding, I do all kinds of other stuff. The gym is just, you go there and you need it for your mind almost. It wakes you up. You already did one of the hardest things as the first thing that you did during that day. Everything else is easier, and you build like a little friendship group within the gym, and you keep yourselves account. I have a buddy of mine, his name's Jamie. I think you've met him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was there at the grand opening.
Good dude.
We don't even work out together, but we're there like holding each other accountable. Iron sharpens iron.
Love it.
We're like, hey, you're doing legs today? Okay, it's nice to see you here. If he's a little later than me, I'm like, oh, you made it, huh? He does the same thing to me. So if he misses a day, I send him a picture. I'm like, oh,
solid.
Hitting the 100s today. But he does the same thing to me. So even if I don't go early, if I see a picture coming, I'm like, man, I'm not letting him beat me. I'm going today.
Dude, I always watch this or listen to this like motivational content when I'm working out now. I don't really listen to music per se. Like I'm listening to David Goggins or stuff that has motivational with Joe Rogan or Cameron Haynes is a big bow hunter who I follow, but it's about consistency. Once again, just dedication. They say motivation doesn't mean shit. It's about dedication because it goes away.
Motivation goes away, and it's all about how bad do you want it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like how bad do you want to be healthy, to look good in the mirror, to look good for your wife, your kids. The one thing that motivated me a lot to get back into it when I saw myself slipping away was my kids are little. And have you ever looked at old photographs of you when you were little and your dad, and you're like, oh, my dad was a pimp back then. Yeah. Look at my mom. Oh my gosh. Look at grandpa. Stud. I didn't want to be that guy when you look back, you're like chubby, or not that anything's wrong with it, to each their own, but I just didn't want to be that guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. So I was like, hey, you know what? Making that change. And now even, I don't know if you've noticed this, but even when it comes to food choices, I'm very aware of what I'm eating. And sometimes I eat some gummy worms or whatever, but I know, okay, I'm going to have to make up for this. Maybe I'm not going to have dessert, or maybe I'm not going to have that bowl of rice or whatever the case. So I make up for it in other areas, but I'm very aware. And even if I'm walking by a buddy of mine and I see them eating something super unhealthy, I'm just like, man, that's going to take a lot of work to get off. And I was just talking to him about him wanting to lose weight. Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, come on, bro.
It's crazy. It's a lifestyle, though.
It is.
If you're on a diet that is too hard and you can't keep it up, then it's not going to work. It has to be a lifestyle change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a mindset. You have to be super focused in it. And then all of a sudden, it just becomes like going to work. Now going to the gym is like, that's just something I do. I look forward to, especially when you start seeing progress, you look forward to it. You can't wait to do legs tomorrow. I can barely walk. I did legs yesterday. I did chest today. But yeah, definitely working out is a big part of my day. Cool. It just sets me up for, I think, for success. And it's also like right before coming to the podcast, I was changing and I started doing some push-ups, get the blood pumping a little bit. Yeah. All of a sudden, Scarlett comes in. She's like, Dad, what are you doing? She starts doing push-ups next to me.
That's awesome.
And she does 10 of them. Dude, she's 8. 10 like good push-ups.
Plank.
And then I'm like, hey, Scarlett, go. So I'm like, hey, get Penelope. Let's see how many she can do. So then Penelope comes over and she's teaching her how to do it. And now they're both doing push-ups, dude. I'm like, that's it. That's the example that I want to be to Austin.
Heck yeah. Solid, man. I love it. I love it.
Katie saw that too, and she got a nutritionist to start coaching her and everything on what to eat. She was eating too little. So then she started eating a lot more. It was hard for her at first, and then it kicked in. Her metabolism was going real well. All of a sudden, she starts building muscle. And
more
she
protein
gets,
and stuff?
Oh, yeah, more protein, a lot more protein. And she's all into that kick now. I'm like, great. That's fantastic.
Yes.
But now she's feeling better. It helps her with the kids. She's not tired. That's why I started doing the testosterone as well, because when I came home one day, I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I don't want to talk to the kids or my wife. I want to just relax.
Yeah, it changes your mood,
and that relax turns into 2 hours of doom scrolling on your phone. And then I start thinking about it. I'm like, maybe it is the testosterone. Let me go check. And it was super low.
Was it?
And they were like, do you feel depressed? I'm like, no, I feel normal. But normal was the being tired and lazy. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. And it's not like you feel it right away, right? It's not like you feel it right away. You're like, oh, I feel normal. Then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. And then all of a sudden, I'm at home and I'm playing with the kids, reading them stories, doing crafts with them after work, right? This is after a long day of work. And then all of a sudden, I'm doing the dishes after I put everyone to sleep. I'm doing the dishes. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, whoa, I'm not tired. And I just did all this stuff after work. My wife's loving it. I'm doing dishes, I'm cleaning
She's
and
like,
stuff.
thank God, Brian.
And that's crazy. That's something that I enjoy to do. I enjoy doing dishes. I enjoy vacuuming. I
Oh
enjoy
my
doing
God.
laundry.
I do too.
It's so weird.
I'm the biggest cleaner ever.
Yeah.
And my wife's, thank God you do that. But I like the lines on the carpet. I don't like carpet first off, but we got it anyways. But I need the lines. I need clean floors. Yeah.
I'm a neat freak, man. Like whenever I leave my office, you saw my office.
Beautiful office.
It just has to be like a blank piece of paper when I get there so I can begin. My job is to problem solve. That's what my job is to solve problems. And sometimes I'm like, man, I think I told you this. I'm like, man, there's all these issues and everyone's got something. All these loans have something difficult going on. And then I woke up and I was like, that's my job.
Yeah.
My job is to fix that, right? And sometimes you're not even thinking about it. It's like a fireman, right? Like you're a fireman, you're like, well, all these fires, dude.
Got to put them out.
That's what you signed up for.
That's
you're
it.
a fireman.
That's it. So tell the listeners what you do, your background real quick, and then I'm going to talk a little bit of business, but that was a perfect segue into what you do professionally.
So I do home loans, residential home loans. I've been doing that for about 12 years, going on 13 years now. And we do basically a little bit of everything. We do FHA loans, conventional loans. We do jumbo loans, a lot of those. We do DSCR loans, which are loans specifically made for investors. We do bank statement loans. We do down payment assistance. We do it all. When it comes to home lending, we're one of the top bilingual teams in all of Arizona.
Okay.
So it's something that I'm really passionate about because I'm helping people realize their dreams while at the same time I'm realizing mine. And that's the biggest thing because I remember working in other places before and not feeling like I was using my powers or my abilities for good. It just didn't feel right to have people that I knew weren't going to go forward towards finalizing their degree sign up for school. It just didn't feel good. Okay, they want to do it, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, these guys don't want to do it. They just want to get the free money. I'm like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
But now, when you're helping that 22-year-old, let's say, I just had this situation, that's why I remember it. 22-year-old get their first home and knowing that even though they were scared or they were worried about it, they did it anyway. 7 years from now, 6 years from now, they're going to have $300,000, $200,000 worth of equity in their home, and they're going to be set up.
Yep.
Some people don't understand that when you buy real estate, it's setting you up for success later. It's giving you a little safety net, a little nest egg that if anything happens, you have $300,000 in equity.
You know what's crazy is you hear these like stuff on social media of, oh, don't buy anymore, rent. And I'm like, that's crazy because what you just said, I bought my first house. I became a fireman when I was like 20. I bought my first house literally on Val Vista and Pecos at 22.
I bet nothing was built back
Built, man. And now it's blown up.
100?
It was like
177?
Yeah.
That was about how much I got my first house for.
And I sold the damn thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm sure you'll say, never sell real estate. Just always hold it.
In an ideal world, yeah, hold on to it. But sometimes you're upgrading to your next house and you're not comfortable with the payment, but you have all this equity. You could be comfortable with it. If you sell, then sell it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that there's not a certain way to do things when it comes to real estate. People are like, when should I buy? When you can afford it, not when anyone tells you to do it, because it may be a fantastic time to buy, but dude, you just got fired. Then it's not your time to buy right now. But hey, you're hesitant because maybe interest rates you're hearing are high or whatever, but you just had 2 kids. You just had twins. You live in an apartment. It's kind of the time to buy now. So it depends on the person, I think.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What do you think, like with interest rates right now, where they're at, and like people who are probably sitting on the sideline, what would you say to those people? Is it a good time? Should we wait? What do you think in your opinion?
I think, like I said, it's specific to every family, every individual. But let me tell you a quick story. So I have a friend, I forget the year, but he was looking at buying because he was living in a townhouse, 2-story townhouse. They just had their first baby. Baby was growing. It was starting to get a little bit tight for them. They started looking here in this area in Gilbert. Okay. They were able to get something. I pre-qualified them and everything, and they were able to get something that they really liked with the square footage that they wanted for about $450. Rates were low. Rates were like high 3s, right? The husband, no, I think the market's gonna pop. I think it's gonna get lowered. I think the home prices are going to go down. Like
we were at 3%.
We're high 3s.
And he was saying,
I'm like,
no,
it's going to pop.
Oh my
It's going to pop. This thing's going to get lowered. Let's hold on. Okay. We went through the whole thing. They looked and ended up getting under contract and backing out at 450. Okay. 3 years later, they're having their next born. All of a sudden, interest rates are now high. I think interest rates now were like in the high 5s, low 6s. The house that they ended up going with, they were looking at homes. The houses, that square footage for the house that they were under contract previously was out of their budget.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford it anymore. They had to go with a smaller home at $750.
That's crazy. As a starter.
With the second home because they were living in a townhouse.
Yeah, you're right.
And they had to go something at $750 with a much higher rate because he was thinking it was going to pop. Ever since I got into the industry, people are thinking it's going to, oh, there's a bubble. It's going to pop. 13 years later, all that it's doing, it's getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Affordability is a problem. That's why Jerome Powell is not decreasing rates. It's because affordability is a problem right now. What do you think is going to happen when rates drop?
Yeah.
Remember before, during COVID, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I certainly do. Every house literally had 7 offers, 8 offers. People are like, hey, if the house was 500, they're like, hey, we'll give you 520. Someone else, oh, we'll give you 540. Someone 550. I don't care about the appraisal.
That was a Wild West.
Inspection, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're gonna waive it.
That's what happens when rates drop. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, rates could be a little bit higher. That's why the expression "date the rate, marry the house." Because right now, even if the rate's a little bit higher than usual, you're getting the house at a fair price. Now, if you're competing with 7 or 8 other people for the same house, now you're having to bid up. You're going upwards instead of downwards. So now you're getting into a house for a lot more money. The rate, you can always change it later.
Refinance it.
You just refinance it and get the lower rate, but the starting point of what you buy the house at, that can't change.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the moral of the story is that, hey, he ended up paying $300,000, almost double for less square footage and a higher rate.
I think you're spot on, man. Everything that you're saying, I see it because I started a fund. Essentially, we're just buying single family homes. But gosh, I wish I known what I know now back then, right? Gosh, 3%, like almost in the 2s at one point. Just think of that. Like logically, we should have been picking up like houses like crazy.
Going through that time, you're like, should we? Is it gonna? Even you start thinking of, is it too good to be true? But now I look at the mortgage statements. I looked at my mom's loan not too long ago. I got her that house, and that percentage rate's at 3% even. Gosh, dude. My investment property up north is under 3.
That's wild, dude.
Insane.
And you're probably cash flowing that thing like crazy if you're Airbnb.
We do Airbnb in that house. Crazy story too. We bought, I think I told you this, we bought 3 houses right next to each other, right? One of my work partners and a real estate agent that were really good friends. So we ended up getting these houses in Flagstaff. They even ended up doing the plan of the house. They set up a whole new floor plan for us because we wanted certain things. And since we were getting 3, we had a little bit of leverage there. So that was awesome. Anyway, we ended up getting these homes, and they were truly going to be second homes for us because we weren't thinking about renting them or anything like that. We just wanted to escape up there. We're doing a lot of snowboarding, a lot of mountain bike riding, things like that.
Such a good place up there. Oh my God.
It's fantastic. Right now, it's 78 degrees today. Tomorrow, it's going to be 75 degrees.
Better than down
Holy
here.
moly.
What was it, like 1?
It's 110. So anyway, we ended up getting these homes, and we weren't going to rent them. But then my realtor buddy, he will come up to us. He's like, yeah, I'm going to Airbnb. Then he started doing it, and he started showing us the app. He's like, dude, I just made $7,000. Yeah, dude, I make $10,000. Someone's fucking staying there. It's $10,000. Like, no way.
Is that a month?
No.
Or is it just...
It's for the month for separate stays. It's not one single stay, but for separate stays throughout the month. And then I'm like, really? Show me your app. Because I'm thinking he's just talking.
Pulling your chain, yeah.
Then he shows me the app. Because there's an app where you can see all your totals. And it was legit. It was true. And that's when I was like, what? No way. Okay. He's showing it to me. It's obviously there. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. So I did the whole thing, and I couldn't get my tax ID for some reason. It was just giving me a hard time. So I'm like, forget it. I went to bed. Then a month later, I came back to it because he kept on talking about it. We're living right next to each other. I think pandemic. So we were up there all the time, just getting away from the heat. We were mountain bike riding out in nature. That's what everyone was doing back then because you couldn't do anything else. Anyway, I go there, finally get my tax ID number. I'm like, okay, I already got pictures and everything. The management company that we use, they came over, they did pictures, didn't cost us a thing. So then as soon as I got my tax ID, I send it over to them. I wake up the next day. Oh, here's a stay, $3,000. It was already booked.
What?
I'm like, what? Okay, maybe it's because it's a new listing. Maybe they put me on top or whatever the case may be. Go to sleep, wake up the next day, another booking, this time double the stay. I tell Katie, I'm like, babe, look at this.
This is wild.
And then we came back down to the valley, wake up the next day, another stay. I'm like, baby, we have 3 stays. These people are paying a lot of money to stay there. We got to go get the house ready. So we had our clothes in there and everything. We had to take everything out.
You hauled it.
We literally we left all of our really nice things up there because it was a second home. So we went to Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware, all those places to decorate and deck it out because it was my house. I wasn't going to rent it. But anyway, we ended up taking everything out. We had a little storage room in the garage. So it was perfect. Like my buddy, he's a really good designer. So he had him do the garage, but then a storage room inside of the garage. Okay. So it's like extra, separated from it. So we put everything in there, decked it out, and we've been renting it ever since.
Solid.
And when you get an Airbnb like that, you're not only making money monthly, but you're also gaining equity on the home at the same time.
And paying your mortgage down.
Mortgage down, gaining equity. Someone else is paying my mortgage. The renters are paying my mortgage, which is fantastic. We're making sure they're having a great experience, of course. We have a jacuzzi there, towels, everything's top of the line. It was brand new when we bought it. Great area. That's the key. It has to be a good area. Some people are like, hey, I'm going to rent mine. And it's not to talk bad about any city, but it's a city that people would not vacation at. And yeah, right. You're making $400 a month. It's okay. But if you get a home that is located at a destination place, somewhere where people vacation,
yes,
that's where you get the biggest bang for your buck.
Like Flagstaff, so many things.
Sedona, places like that. People already know, okay, I'm going to go, you're going to go to California, right? I bet it's not a cheap vacation.
Oh my gosh, no.
But you don't bark at it because you're going on vacation. You expect to pay a premium. It's the memories. It's summertime. You want to get out. So whenever you buy a property in a vacation spot, people are already have that mindset. It's $700 a night. Okay, it is what it is. We're going for 3 days. We've been saving up the whole year to do this. Whatever the case may be, they're already expecting that. But you can't charge that the same amount here.
Yeah.
You know,
such a smart play, man. Flagstaff has just been a gold mine. I love that place.
Everyone in my family that are old enough to get houses, they have a house up there now.
Okay. I think we're going to have to talk about getting a house up there because I mentioned this to you. I got property up in Pine Top Lakeside. Now, it's a little bit slower, but it's a really nice area. And unfortunately, there was a gentleman who just passed away who I purchased the land from. Anyways, I just talked to his son. We're going to get together next week. And we're going to collaborate because he has a whole another 5 acres. But our hopes, we'll see where it goes, but our hopes is to build out something just extraordinary on this 10-acre parcel where we can do like corporate retreats, church camps, just anything. Like we just want to just think big.
That's awesome.
And yeah, when I saw this piece of property up there, I was like, I'm a big outdoors guy. I'm like, this is my heaven right here. This is my sanctuary. I want to raise my kids. And I was doing it for that reason, right? To get my kids away. But now being in that business mindset, I'm like, okay, just like you said, being in a more destination area is going to have that higher ROI or cash flow, which makes a huge difference too.
That's what I really admire about you too. You're into a little bit of everything, man.
I am.
You are. You got your real estate portfolio thing. You got those properties up north. You're into a lot of different things. I wish I had that sometimes. I'm like, I focus on one thing and it's paid off.
Yeah.
I get really good at one thing. I'm almost like, I always think of it like Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? Or In-N-Out.
Yes.
You go there.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Dude, if you want tacos, sorry, we don't got it. Yeah. But if you want a burger, you want a chicken sandwich, then you go there. And they're okay losing everything else.
That's it.
But they're just really good at making burgers. Or in Chick-fil-A, giving you a really good chicken sandwich, and people keep coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's why I admire about you, that you can do a lot of things and be good at them all. For me, it's like I have to focus on one thing. A lot of people are like, hey, let's start a restaurant. Let's start this business. Let's start doing this. Let's do a renovation. Let's do a flip. dabble in flips from time to time when the opportunity's right. But I'm always just super dialed in home loans because that's my specialty. That's what I do. And yeah, sometimes if I get distracted from it a little bit, I see it. I have hobbies and stuff like that, but what I really focus on is the loans.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I still am in finances. I've been doing that for 15 years.
That's awesome.
And obviously I was a firefighter, but you work like 10 days a month as a firefighter. And being in Phoenix, that's where I was at for 24. Actually, I put in my paperwork on Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm like super excited. So I took
your paperwork
to retire. Like officially.
Okay.
Because I'm like, yeah, I got too many things going on.
That's right. You're a fireman also.
I mean, yeah.
That's it for me.
No more fires, no more throwing on packs. But it was cool because it offered me an opportunity working those 10 days a month to really focus on other interests. And obviously, firemen get paid a decent salary. I don't think we're going to be multimillionaires. And so I wanted to change my trajectory and my family's trajectory. Obviously, my dad was in the Air Force. My mom was a cashier, just blue collar workers. I have a older brother, 2 younger sisters. We had a pretty large family. We didn't have a lot. My goal was to build out like this legacy where I'm changing this generational path, not just for me, but for my kids now, for my family. And that's why I bought the property. I want to have something where I could bring my whole family up there and give them what a lot of them never had. My parents didn't have the opportunity. And unfortunately, my mom passed away last year, but they didn't have that opportunity. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I just wish she had that. I know this is what she wanted me to have and build out, so I'm going to do it for her, and I'm going to continue to do it for my family.
Funny you say that. That's why I'm always thinking, if you're thinking about doing something, just do it now.
Why not?
We don't know how much time we've got.
No, you don't.
And that's what I live by, dude. A lot of people are like, oh, you know what? We're going to do this later. Whenever I retire, I'm like, no, I'm just going to do it right now.
That's right.
Because
for today,
you never know. And plus, I don't want to be enjoying everything. There's 2 trains of thought, right? Okay, I'm going to save up, I'm going to retire, and that's a great train of thought. Hey, I'm going to pay my mortgage down, and I'm not going to have a loan on it. I love that. I really do. For me, though, I like to live on the other side. I like to invest. I like to leverage, right? I like to leverage the bank's money so that I can make more money with that, right? I want to get more properties. It doesn't matter if the house is not paid off yet, but let's get another house that's creating additional income, passive income every month.
Now, is that through doing like an equity line of credit and using some of that equity to go into another house? Is that your strategy?
That's one strategy. You can do a cash out refinance. You can do a home equity line of credit. You can do a bridge loan. It just depends on what that person qualifies for. Yeah. So everyone, has different. Sometimes you think, okay, I have all these options. And then when you look at the scenario, you're like, oh, you really just have these 2 options. But let's make it work this way. Which one's the best one for you?
Yeah. You mentioned DSCR loans earlier on. And yeah, that's what we're looking at right now because we've bought like 8 properties. And so now we're like looking at the DSCR and trying to pull money out. We're actually buying 2 fourplexes. Okay. Yeah, 2 fourplexes July 1st. I think, yeah, we owe money like by July 1st. I'm just the money man. I'm just like, where's the money going? Okay, here you go. And I just sent it there. I have 2 good partners. One of them is in Minnesota and the other one's here. But
which one was the one that did the podcast?
Donovan Reese. Yeah.
Did I meet him?
You might have met him actually. I think at Mia's birthday party one time. I think he was there.
Was he at one of the
that's right. Yeah. So he's really good at property management. He has My Rent Door. So they have that business. And then we have Synergist Capital Partners, which is our real estate company. But yeah, we focus, like I said, we just focus on buying single family homes. And now we're leaning into like apartment buildings and just like scaling this a little bit more because single family homes, there's a lot of upkeep.
Of course.
There's a lot of things that you got to think through. And gosh, I was like, the other day, my front courtyard was all dirty. It was all filled with dirt. I'm like, what's going on here? The rain gutter or the gutters weren't draining the rain properly or the water properly.
Okay.
And it's just like creating a mess. So I got up there and I was like grabbing a hose and spraying it all out. It was like making it even worse. I'm like, this is awful. But home ownership is sometimes it takes money, but it delivers a lot of money on the back end too. So your wife is in real estate too.
Yeah.
So where did she get her start? And do you guys work together pretty closely or how does that?
We try to work together all the time.
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah.
Her goal is not to do a lot of volume right now just because our kids are little, but she is a native from Arizona. She's got a lot of friends. She's been to school here, elementary school, high school, college. She's got a lot of friends, a lot of family here. So if she is a realtor and she's a really good realtor, then a lot of people want her help. And it's hard for her to say no sometimes, right? Because dad wants help, cousin, oh, you're not going to help your sister or sister's boyfriend. Okay, so now all of a sudden you're busy. You know what I mean? But her main thing is taking care of our kids right now. The way she got started was, and it's a crazy story because before, and this is what I'm saying, everything teaches you something. When I was younger, my dad, I think when I was like 13, 14, he had me answering his phones for his company. Yeah. He did a medical discount program here in Arizona for people that didn't have insurance. So he'll have a membership and he'll sign up doctors so that when he has some of his members go to those offices, they'll give him a discount because they were going to be cash paying clients. So what he had me do is he had me collect payments. He had me sign people up. And then he started having me follow him to different doctors' offices to sign up those doctors, to explain the value of being part of our network and the amount of people that we can send their way that are going to be cash paying clients, because doctors don't like dealing with insurance companies. Yeah. They don't like waiting to get paid. So we brought to the table is like, hey, you get paid right now. And we're going to send you a bunch of clients that need these services, but we need you to do 30% off.
And how old were you?
13, 14 years old. And my dad, his second language is English, and you can literally tell. You can tell that his second language was English. And he still did it, man. He's just so impressive. And then he'll bring me, his son, 13-year-old kid, dressed up in a tie and just listening. I can't believe my dad's doing this, and I can do it so much better. If I learned, I was thinking, I'm like, I can do this really well. So then, cool. Like, when I graduated, and then I remember he had me build up my first team, and I hired a bunch of my friends. And we all went around signing doctors out.
Wild.
It was crazy, but he's still alive. He just lives in Ecuador right now. He's planning on coming back soon. And maybe he didn't leave me $1 million, but he left me with that entrepreneurial spirit, that work ethic. He explained how the business works, how to connect with people, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that was so much more important than leaving me money.
Dude, you're so good.
So much more important.
That's what I saw, like, when I came to the grand opening. It was Barrett Financial,
Yeah,
right?
Barrett Financial.
Dude, what an organization. They have this awesome sign up, make it happen. I'm like, dude, this company is next level. Yeah. And then you got the Canar group, which is your group, right? In there too. And it's just, man, it was buzzing. You got a cool, like, golf simulator in there. Yeah. Good dudes. I was like super impressed with just the amount of people that were just like genuinely happy being there. It was like, it just felt good. The energy was up. It was a grand opening, but you could just see that the people appreciated their job and what they were doing.
Yeah. And you'll see the most successful agents in the Valley, they work with Barrett Financial. That's why you saw so many agents there. They run the business here in Arizona. And the reason why they work with us is because we're able to say yes. And not only can we say yes to their clients to get them approved, we can get them approved with the best terms that are out there. It's literally unbeatable. And the reason why is because we can see everyone else's interest rates, right? We're a broker. So we can look at everyone's programs. We can look at everyone's interest rates, and we can pick, okay, my client needs a DSCR loan. Or my client needs a jumbo loan with only 10% down and no mortgage insurance. Or my client needs a down payment assistance program. Okay, these are the investors that offer that. Which one has the best rate for my client? So they're not just getting the best rate with one bank. They're getting the best rate in the entire market. You know what I mean? So if you're a realtor and you want your client to get the best deal possible, then you work with us.
Drop right there.
You know what I'm saying? If not, if maybe you have a buddy somewhere and you want to send them deals, that's okay. But man, your clients are trusting you to help guide them in getting the best deal. As a realtor, I think you have the responsibility to do that. And the best place to do that at is with us because of what I just said. We can look at everything.
Yeah, and obviously from what I've seen, to all the listeners, Bryan knows what he's doing. So I would say get in contact with Bryan. If you're thinking about buying, if you're thinking about what loan do I need, how do I get into a house, this is the guy to reach out to because I've seen it with my own eyes. It was definitely impressive. His office is amazing. I'll probably throw up some
I'm there all the time. I'm at appointments. I'm one of the guys that I'm the last one to leave. 98% of the time. It's probably because I'm not the first one there. I see, that's the balance, right? I don't think at my age, balance is the main thing because I'm in build mode still. People that want, I want to work this much and they want, okay, that's fine. But I'm building right now. Balance is not in the equation for me right now. I got to build, but I also make time, okay, in the morning's mine.
For your families, yeah.
I get my girls ready, brush their teeth. I wake them up. I brush their hair. I make sure they're dressed. I do their hair. I drop them off at school. I do that for my boy too now. So that's a sacred time for me.
You're present
with them,
which
right?
is, you can't get that back. It's
awesome. That's the time that I cherish. And that's also my time to go to the gym. Now, after I drop, okay, let's go to the gym. Let's work out. Let's take care of me so I can take care of them also and take care of my clients and take care of my wife and everything, right? So I really value that time. And then I go to the office and I just go at it. Appointments, meetings with clients, meeting with realtor partners. Prospecting's huge. Some people don't know what we offer. So then prospecting becomes a big thing. If you want to be successful, you see a lot of mortgage lenders that come into the industry, they're balling for a little bit, maybe when there's a refinance boom. And then a year or two later, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're doing something else.
Because the market shifts, things slow down.
It's also because you don't have real relationships. Relationships is what keeps you in the business, right? Realtor relationships. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Relationships with teams. If you're just doing refinances, those go away. You're out of business.
Yeah.
But when you have a relationship with a realtor, there's realtors that I've worked with over decades, a lot of them. And they get prospected too by other lenders. Hey, work with me. But like, hey, you know what? I already have my guy. Why? Because they can call me anytime. They know that if I can do the deal, I'm going to do it. If it's not possible, I'm going to tell them that too. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say, oh yeah, we can probably. And then 3 weeks later, oh, sorry, man, we're not going to be. No, I won't do that. They know I'm going to be honest with them. I'm going to give them white glove service to their clients, whether it's in English or Spanish. So they trust me to bring that professionalism in. You see a lot of lenders, sometimes, unfortunately, you see them coming in with flip-flops, short wife beaters to the office. I'm like, man, are you taking your job seriously? If I went to a doctor's office and my doctor had
Hawaiian shirt.
And his hat on backwards, I'd be like,
yeah, this is the
never
wrong,
mind.
This is the wrong
I'm
place.
going somewhere else. I take my job seriously.
Yeah.
When I get into the office, I'm a pro and I treat it that way. As you can see, the setup in it's almost like game time, right? You got your helmet, you've trained, you've got everything ready, and now it's game time. Now it's time to be a pro. Prospect, take care of your clients, do the hard deals that other lenders can't. That's when you build that trust and that bond with your realtor partners.
Yeah, and you've been in it for so long too. So I'm sure your network runs deep, your relationships run deep, and I could just feel it. You're not going anywhere. I think that's super important. And so just talking to you right now, I'm like, man, this is a guy who I could do business with right here. And I saw that the first moment. And it's not about just business. It's about, this is a high quality individual.
Thanks, man.
This guy, he looks sharp. He takes care of himself. Image is important, right? Family's important. Those are what I look for in an individual where I'm like, I could really connect. And there's people at this stage in my life, I've had a lot of friends come and go, Brian, and I'm comfortable like who I am and what I provide as a friend, but I'm not going to give it to anyone, right? I want to connect with good people, with good values, who are like-minded. Man, everything you said is awesome. I think the listeners are definitely leaning in right now and saying, man, this guy's a very genuine individual who I could trust.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, that means a lot. And the cool thing that you brought up, the friends situation, right? You do see a lot of friends come and go. And that's when I think God has always had my back. I'm a Christian. I go to church, but I truly believe that he's been in my life and he's brought me here because there's so many. I went to Ecuador with my previous company to do a service trip. And I was born in the capital of Ecuador, in the city. But there's places out there, just like everywhere else, where, man, help is needed, right? And I stayed with a local there for a week, helping build a school.
That's amazing.
And the CEO of the company at that time brought his kid and his wife. And a couple of my business partners came along too. I'm like, man, imagine if my parents weren't brave enough to come over here and bring me with them. What could have happened? You know what I mean? That's when God steps in. I'm like, man, my dad had me really young. I think he was 20 years old. When I was just thinking about this. When my dad was my age, I was an 18-year-old already, which is insane. That's because wild. I wasn't a good 18-year-old. I was getting in trouble, doing the most. So I'm just thinking to myself, man, my dad, what a stud for putting up with me. And again, God guiding me through, making sure that this is a story I'm going to tell you right now that's crazy. So OxyContin was big back in the day, remember?
Yep.
So I remember I was hanging out with my group of friends, little rebellious kids or whatever, and we were getting ready to have a party. And it was just 3 of us there. It was 4 of us. It was 4 of us. And anyway, they were waiting for the party to start. And all of a sudden, one of them has some oxys. And they're like, hey, I only have 3. Sorry, man. Like, we can't give you one. I'm like, really? You didn't bring one for me? Jeez, I was so upset. But that's when God stepped in. Because years later, their life wasn't the same anymore.
I can imagine.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't the same person at all, mentally. So that's when I think, okay, I'm so happy that happened. I'm so happy that maybe I'm not friends with those guys anymore, but I'm friends now with the people that are going to help me get better. This is uncomfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? Doing a podcast and stuff like that. But I'm like, hey, let's begin to live in that uncomfortable space, because that's when you graduate to that next level. And that's something actually that I pray about all the time. Before leaving to go to work, I just say a quick prayer. And I ask God to put those people in my circle that are going to help me graduate to that next level of life that I'm always thinking about.
Yeah, there is some situations with me too. I think God really entered my life last year when my mom passed away. And I started going to therapy because being a fireman for 20 plus years, you see a lot of stuff. And I don't care how tough you are as a firefighter, police officer, you just see a lot. After that incident, and she battled cancer for 20 plus years, I needed some help. I leaned into some therapy, and just a couple visits into it, I'm just like, this just doesn't feel right to me. And my wife, Kate, she's Filipino, she's Catholic, and she's always wanting me to go to church. My mom always wanted me to go to church too. So I came home and I was like, this is just not going well. I feel uneasy. It's kind of maybe that feeling with this podcast. You're like, I'm uneasy about it. But then the more times you do it, you do feel comfortable. I probably quit too soon. But Kate said, he's always listening.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's always listening? And
where's my bow?
Yeah. She's like, God. And I'm like, okay. And so there's a couple weeks that passed. And anyways, this one Sunday morning, man, I was just like, God, things have to change. And I said a prayer, I think the night before, and I just woke up and I was just like, hey, Kate, let's go to church. Let's get the family. I'm telling you, Bryan, like I went to a local church and just, the pastor was talking to me that day.
Which one is it?
Sun Valley.
Sun
Yeah,
Valley.
right
Plug
there.
it, man.
And so it was just, and I'm still learning. And I'm like, do I plug things? Like, what do I say? Because I'm still learning God. I'm still understanding how he walked, and can I even walk in his footsteps, and am I worthy? And I get a little, especially on camera, I'm like, okay, what do I say? But once again, it's being uncomfortable makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
And talking about, and I've done it before. My first guest, Jake Slade, awesome dude, goes to Sun Valley, has an HVAC company, love the guy. The first episode I ever did, we just started talking about faith and family. And I'm like, whoa, this is like Lounge with Larz, but this is like really deep, which was awesome. And that's what I wanted. So from
that is, man. I think that's why people watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why people watch, because you get to know someone in a deeper level. I mean, look at Elon Musk smoking weed on the Joe Rogan podcast. That's why I watch, to see those moments where people are going to say something that usually they wouldn't say in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Something that someone would say when they're just hanging out with a friend.
And I'll probably be saying more and more. I'm not going to let all my stories out of the bag. But
give us something juicy.
There's a lot of juicy stories for me. But yeah, like I told Kate today, I got Bryan Canar coming over here. I'm buzzing. I haven't done a podcast for a week.
So you're doing them every week now?
I'm trying to do them every week. I'm trying to have new guests on every week.
Awesome.
Because I freaking love it, man. I'm buzzing. Like, I feel comfortable, like, just getting to know people. And that's what maybe I lacked a little bit earlier on. I was so macho and I don't need anyone. But now I'm like, dude, I want good people in my life. I want the Bryans in my life. I want good men. of value and character and to walk this life with me.
Thinking about that too, though, like even with family, I've noticed that even then, like sometimes you're meant to be with them all the time, and sometimes they're just going a different direction. And even though you love them so much, you have to let them go, because a lot of the times they don't realize the goodness that you're trying to bring into their lives.
It's amazing.
Until you're not there anymore. And then when they're ready to receive that again, then you appear. Then God brings you together again.
It's amazing that you're saying that.
It's crazy.
I'm actually walking that rope right now.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I'm doing that I'm not sharing. There's been a lot of stressful moments that I haven't shared, but those are mine to bear, right?
Yeah.
And I think one day they will understand what this is all for. I don't need to be showy. They're living their life. I'm living my life, and I'm doing it for a reason. And one day they're going to see. They're going to see why I did all this. And trust me, I make my life difficult sometimes. Starting a podcast is not easy. Starting a real estate fund, starting a financial. I barely passed high school. I was in resource. I was held back. I struggled, man. And I'm very grateful that I'm here right now, but I worked very hard like yourself. And this is why I love connecting with people like you, just because we have worked hard. Let's transition real quick into this Live Larz segment. And so I want to shift gears and talk about the personal side for a moment. You moved to the U.S. from Ecuador, chasing a dream, not just for yourself, but for your family and your future generation. I would consider that a Live Larz moment, chasing more, refusing to settle, and having the courage to build something bigger for yourself and your family. So in my opinion, you're already living Larz, right? What does the American dream mean to you now after all the years that you've been here?
Man, that's deep.
Yeah.
One thing that always gets me, and it gets me even a little bit teary-eyed, I just had the pleasure of going and seeing my mom get her citizenship about a month ago.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, and to see everything that she's been through, that we've been through, to get to that moment, it's crazy. It's almost unbelievable, right? So when you're there, they tell you, okay, now that you're a citizen, you have a duty. You have a duty to help this place, right? To help other Americans, the elderly. Go volunteer in school. Do something good. That's why you're here, right? You're going to prosper. You're going to have all these opportunities, but you're also here to give back. And when you hear those words, you're like, that's right. That's the dream when you're a kid, right? To be a superhero, to be able to help other people. At least that was my dream, right? Like when I grew up, I want to be able to do something good. So then when I first started in mortgages, one of my coworkers that became a really good friend, he walked by I was working, I was an assistant, and he walked by my office, I think it was like 8 p.m. And he walked in there, he's, what are you doing here again? And I was like, dude, I'm working. And he's, really? Okay, so dude, do you have any deals that are on your own? I'm like, yeah, I have a couple of deals that are my own. I'm helping Joe to build his business. He's like, and you're here at 8 p.m. I don't even think it was like 8:30 or something like that. And he's, man, you got to go on your own. I'm like, what? I don't know if I can go on my own, man. What if I don't get any deals? What if I don't have any clients and I can't pay my mortgage and stuff like that? He's like, hey, how much is your paycheck right now? And he's rough like that. We're like, how much is your paycheck right now? I'm like, God, after taxes, like $1,200. He's, dude, you're $1,200 away from not having any money anyway. Just do it. So then I remember driving home and calling my mom and being like, hey, mom, I think I'm going to do this, right? But I'm scared. What if I don't have any money? What if I don't have any deals? What do I do? And she said the best thing that a mom can say. She's like, hey, that's what I've been saving for, is for you to be able to take these risks. My mom's not a millionaire. Wow. She's got some money, but not like that. But when she said that, it gave me that reassurance to do it. I never had to call and ask for money.
She has your back.
Never had to do that. I actually was able to buy her a home years later.
That's fantastic.
You know what I'm saying? That's a dream.
Heck yeah.
So now, and then years go by, now I'm doing really well, whatever. And I saw another girl sitting there late. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm still got so much work to do. I'm like, so what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm assisting all these people. But it was like that moment came back.
Full circle.
And then I was like, hey, you know what? They were teaching her only certain parts of the business. So if you only know certain parts of the business, you're never going to be able to get to the next level.
Right.
Because you don't have the, and you're too busy to learn anything anyway.
Right.
So I was like, hey, come over to my team. I'll pay you way more than enough than what you're making right now. And I'll teach you everything. Not just that little piece that you're doing. I'll teach you everything. Years later, she's a rock star on my team, leaves the team, graduates to having her own, and she has a super successful mortgage team now.
Changed your life.
My cousin, he's becoming a man, right? His mom goes back to Ecuador to start some businesses. He's like, hey, what do you do? I start talking to him about mortgages. Get him into the business. He's my assistant for about 3 years. Goes out on his own. He's doing fantastic now. Now he's got a family, buys his house, has 2 kids, right? Multiple assistants that have been able to do that. And that's what, looking back, I'm like, man, that's what brings me the most pleasure now. Because, man, I can see some of my assistants, they have tremendous teams.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome that they were able to do that. And I remember when they came and they didn't know anything, and God put me in that position to be able to assist them. And I feel like that is what being an American is all about. So lifting other people up, not putting them down and thinking you're better than everybody else. No, God gave me this opportunity to be able to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I always bring up my dad, because he didn't leave me a lot of money, but he left me with a toolbox. Mm-hmm. And it's literally a toolbox. I remember when I first purchased my home, it was like a little orange toolbox that he left me. I'm not handy at all, but whenever I needed something, even till today, I go to that orange toolbox and he has it in there.
That's crazy.
Everything that I need is in that orange toolbox.
Brian, my dad left me a toolbox too.
So crazy.
It's a very similar concept, man.
Everything is there.
I go there and I'm like, how did this guy know what to put in this box? Yeah. But that's what dads are for, man. It's just amazing how important your dad and your mom is. Oh. And then just to see that with your mom, that must have been so exciting. And you're right, man. It's about lifting people up. It's about giving people a new opportunity, and all this bullshit going on in the news right now and people burning flags. And it's just, damn, like, we live in a great country. We definitely have flaws, right? Just like any other country, but we have a lot of opportunities.
Tremendous. And
we just need to raise people up. We don't need to continue to put people down and slander people. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, life's short.
Yeah. When you look at that flag, that's what it represents to me. I remember when I was a kid and I would tell people I'm going to the US, it was like you were going to a different planet. They were thinking that we had rockets in our skateboards. That's what you pictured. Other people in other countries, like, you're going there. Christmas is all year long, basically. That's how people think about this place. Yeah. But when you're here, you have it so good. Even if you're not doing good, you have it so that you don't appreciate it as much anymore.
And I think that just don't appreciate what they have and what is allowed here. We have the freedom to have free speech and, like, bear arms, and, like, we have all this, just this opportunity where a lot of other countries are suppressed.
Yeah.
You can't do that stuff. And my dad was in the Air Force and he did a couple of tours, and it's like, when I see that, it's just, come on, people, we're better than this.
I can see, right, everyone wants, you have to have borders, not to get too political here or whatever, but you have to have borders, of course, and you got to do things legally, right? Mm-hmm. In an ideal world, heck yeah, everyone would want to do it. Right. You wouldn't be in your right mind if you just wanted to come here not the right way. But I'm thinking to myself, man, if I was living in one of these places where I'm worried that something's going to happen to my daughter or my son, or someone's going to kill him, someone's going to come rob him, take him away, dude, I'm coming.
Heck yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Legal, whatever the case, I'm coming, dude.
Because it's better.
That's what I'm saying. So when people are like, hey, you got to come here. Yeah, but you don't know the situation that those people might have been in. We don't want criminals. We don't want that. But people that are coming here for that opportunity, that flag represents. We're all immigrants anyway.
Yeah, true.
No matter what.
True.
So when you look at that flag, that's what it represents to me, and that's what brings pride. I remember looking at it when I was a kid, and those feelings that I had when I was looking at that flag, I try to remind myself every time when I see it, even when I drive out of our neighborhood, they have the flags right there right now.
Yeah, when we just went up to Prescott for Father's Day, and we just stayed at an Airbnb. I got to buy a damn Airbnb now. God, I'm in Flagstaff, Brian. Dang it.
You just stay in mine.
Yeah, there you go. I could do that. But I'm not appreciating my money, man. But like the first thing you do, there's this big like ladder truck, and it just has this massive American flag. And every time we roll in there, I'm just like, God bless the USA. This is heaven. This is where we're.
It's just, people don't understand how good it is here.
It's pretty.
When you come here as someone from somewhere else, and even now when I go back to visit Ecuador, I'm like, man, just breathing clean air.
What's Ecuador like? Can you describe it?
A lot of buses, a lot of graffiti, a lot of dogs just randomly everywhere. The thing is that there's not a middle class there. My uncle actually lived here for some time. He was one of the first ones. I came here with my dad when I was 7 years old. After his dad already came, his dad used to work for the president of Ecuador, my grandfather. Okay. So that's how we were able to come over here. And he brought his kids. And then he was like, hey, you know what? Alvaro should come. Alvaro's my dad. And he's okay, I'll bring Bryan with me, my firstborn. And at first I was super excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go. And then I remember as clear as day, the day that we were, and I have a picture of this, when we all dressed up to drop me off at the airport with my dad. And that's when it became real. And it was the most terrifying experience ever, because then you knew you were leaving mom.
Yeah, your face.
You're leaving mom, you're leaving your two little brothers, and they had to drag me into the plane. It was insane.
I can imagine, man.
And then I didn't have a mom for 3 years. Mother's Day.
That must have been tough.
Third grade.
That must have been tough. Man.
Oh, it was so tough. But again, that builds you up. I was living with my father and my uncle at that time. Just that discipline. Hey, you're going to learn your times tables, go to the room, and you don't come out until you learn them. That seems rough, but that's how I grew up. Yeah. And that's what created that discipline. You wake up, your bed's made, no matter what. That created that discipline in my head. And now my wife's like, hey, we want to make learning fun for our girls. And I'm like, fun? I never thought about it that way, but it should be fun. So I'm 100%. Trying my hardest to make it fun. That's just not how I grew up.
Yeah.
It was more like a duty. Like, you're going to learn math. Yeah, you're going to learn English. Because as soon as I was I wanted to have, I had friends everywhere in Ecuador. Now you come here, you don't know the language. So I wanted to learn English right away. So I remember my dad and I will be doing homework, and he'll be picking up every word basically of the instructions with a dictionary, writing the definition. And then after that, writing it in a little book. And then I had to go study all the words that were in the book. And then I would come out when I knew all those words in the definition. So we did that for months. But then I think a year later, I knew how to speak English.
Just repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate came from the Philippines.
Weird that her name's Kate. My wife's Katie. You're Ryan. I'm Bryan.
It's nuts, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, she struggled when she came over here. They speak Tagalog, I think it is. Gosh, hopefully I pronounced that. But she couldn't speak that fluid here, and she just got teased, and it was hard on her.
And now she's like the greatest speaker.
You
put her in front of anyone.
She's pretty good. I'm like, she impresses me a lot. I still need to continue to push her out in front of people, because she's very content with just being the supportive role for our businesses, and she's comfortable with that. She wants to be a good mom, and she just wants to push me out front, just like, hey, you're the star. But I'm like, no, babe, you're the star. You're a great public speaker. She started this little group called Shift You, and it fizzled out. But she started something, and she was so good. But sometimes things don't work out. Businesses don't work out.
That's the training. You know what I'm saying? That's the training and I've had that happen in my career too, when you have teams and then it fizzles out.
Yeah.
And then you have a new team, and then you learn all the things. Okay, what did I do wrong with that team? Okay, I was too harsh, or I was too micromanaging, or I didn't delegate, I didn't trust. And now with your new team, you try to do it better. And now 12 years later, you're still learning. There's still going to be team members that don't make it.
Yeah.
There's still going to be mess ups, but then it's just a continuous learning curve all the time. And managing those failures is what's important. I don't think they're failures. I think they're just lessons.
That's it.
Right? You learn from that, and then you just become better, right? The only time when you really get beaten is when you quit.
That's it.
So that's when you're truly done. So the point is, don't quit. Just keep on going.
My financial business, I brought in like a father-son team probably a couple years ago. And man, I poured every amount of energy I had. I just spent time with them, trained them on all my processes, and they were with me for 6 to 8 months, and I thought we had a really good thing.
Yeah.
And there was a couple situations where I was like, this is not going to work out, and both parties left amicably. But I'm like, to this day, I'm like, what could I have done better? Like, how could I have made that a better situation, not just for myself, but for them as well? Ultimately, I'll tell you the real reason why they left, and it definitely was on their end, but I'm looking to continue to grow. And so now we're in conversations with some like recruiters and stuff. And so I'm looking to bring on like junior advisors and really start to scale like my financial firm. Just continue to grow, chip away, be positive, stay committed to your team members, give more than you want, and iron sharpens iron. I think that is so important in today's society, is be around like-minded people who are hungry as you are, ambitious as you are, and all parties will rise. All boats will rise.
That's why I like living here in this neighborhood. Want to be the brokest guy in the neighborhood.
Love it.
You know what I mean? That's where you learn.
Yeah.
That's where, even when things were tough, when I was first learning the mortgage business, I remember I was working under the top 1% loan officer at that time, and he was extremely hard on everybody. Things that would happen, they wouldn't roll today. You'll be on the news. Grown men were literally crying in our meetings.
Really?
It was crazy
my
like
gosh.
that. But he was tremendous at what he did. And the guys that did make it, we became really good because of how he taught us. Maybe his way of teaching it was old school and hard and everything, but that's why we had that success.
Yeah.
And now you just have to basically adjust with the time. Softer touch. Delegation is super important, right? You have to be willing to delegate the processes of little things that maybe you're not going to be an expert at, but you have to be an expert in the needle moving activities. That's what I always tell myself. I'm like, man, is she going to do a good job? That's why I hired her, because I trusted that she was going to be able to do that. I have to go out and find my next realtor partner that's going to be fantastic, or I have to contact that client that wants to buy this enormous house, or this client that wants that down payment assistance, and make sure that he gets going, and then trust that my supporting team is going to do the job correctly.
There you go. Man, Bryan, you've answered some great questions. Everything you said has been on point. I think you did a fabulous job. I think the listeners are going to have some great takeaways from this podcast. I think you might have maybe lied to me a little bit. I think you've done a lot of podcasts.
Not at all. I want to come back. I feel like we can talk about so many other things.
We can. And honestly, man,
that's crazy, right?
It's
I was like, an hour, then you just start talking.
That's what it is. It goes by fast. And then how do you feel like after this segment? Like, I'm ready to run through walls starting Monday. Obviously, it's the weekend.
Yeah.
Take the weekend off. Let's chill. But like talking to you, this is why I do it. I need energy. Like, I'm 47. My testosterone is struggling a little bit. I need energy from people. And so just having this conversation on a Friday night, we're not boozing. We're not out there at the bar. We're having conversations, like looking forward how we can level up.
Our goals are different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even on the weekends, to tell you the truth, I feel like the weekends is what makes a difference. Everyone's chilling on the weekend. During the weekend, I want to read that book that I've been wanting to read about greatness, or Never Split the Difference. Things like books that just are going to make me better. Choose Your Enemies Wisely. All those books that I look at, I'm like, oh, it's late, I'm not going to read. That's my time to sharpen myself. And I feel like you're more interesting when you know things like that.
100%.
Then you're talking to your buddies and you're like, hey, remember, this is this saying. And that's another thing that makes me feel really good. I know we want to wrap this up. Whenever I'm talking to my buddies and they start coming to me for advice, and I can actually give them good advice that I know I've done, and maybe now they're entering that portion in their career when they have to make the tough decisions and let somebody go, or where they have to make that tough decision and change something in their business that they're scared to change. And me being able to guide them through that, because I've been through that stage of building a large team, building a branch. Some worked, some didn't. And it's okay if they didn't work.
It's life.
Because that's what points you in the right direction. A lot of the times I was thinking about this before coming. I'm like, man, everything happens for a reason. One door closes and then another door opens. With Barrett, who would have known when I left the retail space that now be with a tremendous company like this the amount of people that we can help and the way that we can help them is tremendous.
Yeah.
I would have never taken a leap like this because I love the people that I worked with in the retail space. But now being on this side, I'm like, man, you pray and you ask God to help you graduate to that next level. And when he's helping you graduate, one door is closing, it hurts. It's, damn, I can't believe. You feel like you failed at it. And you go to sleep and you have that empty feeling in your stomach. And then you look back a year and a half later and you're like, whoa, this is exactly what I asked for. And that's what I was thinking on my way here. I'm like, this is exactly what when we had that grand opening, this is exactly what I asked for. And now it's happening. It hurt to have to separate from the people that I really loved in previous jobs and companies and stuff like that, because they became more than friends. They were like brothers almost. Yeah. But then you have to leave and you have to make that call for your family, right? Because you're like, man, I love these guys, but my family comes first. So I have to make a change to make sure that you're able to survive through the downward trend in the market and be able to help out more people when you couldn't help out more people in the other place. So it hurt, but God always has a plan.
He does, for sure.
He always has a plan.
And I've seen it, man. Like, once again, just a plug for Barrett Financial. You guys are kicking ass and taking names. There you have it. I've seen it. So there's a shout out to Barrett Financial.
Thanks,
and then the Canar Group. I wish you nothing but the best, Bryan. I think you're doing amazing things. Appreciate your wife, Kate, your kids. You're a great friend, and I look for us to continue to grow as friends. And
let's do it.
And not just as friends, just as entrepreneurs, just continue to level up.
And as men.
As men.
You know, boys.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's that kind of friendships that I like to have. When we can do business, but then we can also provide advice for each other. I feel like that's something that a lot of guys don't have. And if you're able to build that with winners, then you're just that much better. That's you know?
Hey, I picked up some golf clubs too.
Oh, you did?
The opener, I picked up some golf clubs. They're pretty cheap, but I'm like,
whatever.
So we got to play some golf. But
let's do it.
Tell the listeners where they can find you, how to get a hold of you.
So the best way to get a hold of me is you can email me. My email is B as in Bryan, my last name Canar, CANAR @barrettfinancial.com. You can also call me at 480-788-9049. That's our team line. That'll go to my office, my cell, my team member's office, and their email. So you can always get a hold of me that way. I'm on Instagram, the Canar Group. And also you can find me on Zillow, Google. So if you're curious, you're like, man, is this guy really good? Go see what our other clients have said that have worked with us in the past. We have a large presence on Zillow as well as Google, and see what other people are saying about us.
Beautiful. Thanks again, brother.
You got it.
Remember to live Larz. Thanks for listening and following us on social. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Thank you so much.
Let's go drink that 1942.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, man.